Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to All the Mods 6. So since the last episode, I have done just a little work around the temple, and I also went out and killed a few mobs just to kind of keep my stockpile of skulls up. Basically just whenever it turns night, because this place is fairly safe. Every once in a while I'll get a mob in here, which are probably going to add some guards to the door soon, some rat guards. But for right now, it's fairly safe. It's a lot more safe than the village was. Now over here, I just wanted to point out this is actually filled up at this point, and this rat is now working perfectly. Just having it collect from the curdling station, take the cheese over. So that's been working very, very well for us. I did add another aristocrat. So this one is hanging out with this one. This one is just set to stay here because the other one's gathering up his coins. And I've got him playing a little game of bones. And I did go through and I kind of started adding rooms. Just a rough guess as to where we're going to have the rooms. I think I can make these work though. There is a staircase here as well as a staircase right over here that go up to the next floor. And this room, I did have a lot of rats in here, but I've been actually using them, and I'll show you for what purpose here in just a moment. And rooms over here, rooms and rooms, lots and lots of rooms. And if we head upstairs, we will come up to the next floor, which I've been building out the rooms up here. So you can see there's rooms and rooms and rooms and rooms, all pretty much empty at this point. And if we come on through, staircase here, but there's nothing on this floor at the moment, because I think what I've got so far will be sufficient. This is where the stairs connect down here, and then right over here is another room. We're going to be making use of a few of these rooms today because we're going to be doing a bit more with rats. And if we come in here, we have the little mess hall area. So lots of little rats hanging out. And lots of little hats. This one's got a leather hat. That one's got an iron hat. A fisherman's hat over here. And this one's just made with fish. Which I do have a few fish lying around. But we're going to be hopefully solving that today. Might be the next episode. It's not top of my priority list. And over here is what's going to be our kitchen area. So basically just building out a lot of walls, more or less. And these areas are only 3 high for the roof, but I actually quite like that because it kind of makes it a little bit more compact. And down the road, we're actually going to build a sewer where some of our more roguish rats hang out, and that's even going to be more compact, I think. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump into what we're going to be doing today. We actually have a lot of projects to work on today, and I'm kind of somewhat waiting for these rats. There we go. Which means I probably have 2 rats, I imagine. Let me see. Nope. Probably need to get more breeding sets because they're not keeping up with me right now. But today what we're going to be focusing on is kind of advancing automation for rats and making our lives a little bit easier. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a cauldron. And let's get a trash can. And then I'd also like to get a miner. And I'm actually gonna have to pop down into the mines, or actually I could probably just go with this one. There we go. Then let's get that. Let's get that. And then we're gonna go ahead and get the advanced miner upgrade. And the difference is the normal miner is just going to mine any ore blocks when it's set to harvest. The advanced miner lets us pick and choose what we're going to be mining. And then let me go ahead and just toss that in. I only need one of these, I think. And then let me get the block placer. It's going to be pink dye and mossy cobble. Okay, so there's our block placer upgrade. And I guess just for good measure, so that we've got it, let's get a whitelist upgrade. And let me just grab a stack of iron to take over there with us. And then we're going to go ahead and get ourselves a wireless heat transmitter and a wireless heat receiver from Iron Furnaces, as well as a furnace. Ideally, that's going to be expensive right now. Actually, we'll probably just go with gold. because our rats are going to like gold, I think. So let's go ahead, because we're going to get into a little bit of auto smelting and power generation today. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. Okay, so there's our wireless heat transmitter. There is our wireless heat receiver. Let's get our iron furnace. Just one of these. And there is our gold furnace. Let's get a basic energy transfer. There is that. And that's just going to allow our rat to move power for us. So let's pop back over. That's going to be everything that we're going to need for this first project. And we are going to pop up to this room right over here. Let's just set down our trash can like right here. And we're going to put our gold furnace in here. Our wireless heat transmitter is going to set right back here. We're going to take this, we're going to place it into there, which binds it. And then we're going to take that out, and we're just going to put that into the fuel slot there. And we may add an upgrade to this furnace down the road, but for right now this will be fine. Okay, now let's go get ourselves a rat, or 2 or 3, depending how many we've got here. And we'll just set this one down right here. This one, what we're going to do, let's grab our cheese staff, and let's actually take this drawer full of cobblestone. I think right now I'm going to have to manual feed it. We will set up some automation for getting cobblestone, but we're going to put in a drawer that sets right, I guess right here for right now. And then once we get some automation, we'll probably have rats bring it up. But what we're going to do, shift right click, we're going to right click and say take items from there. And we're also going to say that this is going to be the home point for the rat. Right click here, and we're going to say deposit items in trash can from the north. And right now I'm going to leave it on stay here, but we're going to change that here in a second once we're ready to run this to transport items. Now let's pop down. We do have another rat. Oh, we have a special color. Nice. That's our first of this color. I can't remember the name of the color, but there's actually quite a few like special colors that you can get, and this is one of them. So we kind of have this one with the stripe. We can also dye rats, which we'll get into a little bit later, but we might even dye some of these. Maybe we want a pink rat. Do we want a pink rat? Meh. There you go. So we have a pink rat that's working over here. This rat, what we're going to do is we are going to tell it, well actually I need to run this for just a moment. So let's go ahead and tell this one now to transport items. We're going to be battling this. Yeah, it knows how to put that in there. Alright, now this one, what we're going to do is we're going to put a whitelist for garbage piles. And we're going to add that whitelist into there, and we're going to say gather items. And let's make ourselves a drawer. I may have to adjust things. And this one, we're going to say you're going to deposit your items there. Okay, so if garbage goes on the ground, it takes it over and dumps it in the chest. Worst comes to worst, I can do this with a hopper. But I'm hoping that this one will go over and take the items from that. And this one may start working after a restart, we'll see. But if we give it that, you can see lots of garbage starts pouring out of the trash can, and the rat's going to grab and clean all that up and put it into the garbage pile drawer. Okay, so now at this point what we want to do, let's get another rat. Hopefully we have another one. If not, I can always tame one from this little system over here. Okay, there we go. We got one tamed. And yeah, there's another one in there waiting, because I'll probably need to tame that one too. And this one, just to make sure it doesn't like run off somewhere, because harvest is kind of a broad thing, we are going to set a whitelist. Let's make one more of these. We are going to set up this whitelist as garbage piles, and we're going to put in a whitelist filter, and we're going to put in a block placer. And then for this we have to set it to harvest. And we're going to take our cheese staff. We're going to set it to right here. It's going to be its home point. And we're going to say right here, you're going to take items from that drawer. But what the block placer is going to do is the harvest rat will then take blocks and place them at its home position. We're going to say this is going to be your home point. And we're going to put our advanced miner in there. So this rat is going to mine garbage piles. Specifically, nothing else but garbage piles. So if a garbage pile gets placed down somewhere, he's going to look around and... Oh, and let me set him to harvest. And he may need an update. Or I may have to restart the pack. But after a restart, this one should grab cobblestone, put it in the trash can. This one should grab the garbage piles, put it in the drawer. This one should grab the garbage piles and place them. And this one should mine the garbage piles. Where are you going? There's no... I don't want you to... he might have found the garbage piles that are downstairs. Since I do have some of these as decoration. Okay, well, just in case, we may need to make a... Ooh, I don't have that, though. I'm going to say we might need to make a radius staff, but I don't have that at the moment. And I haven't had a whole lot of luck getting many plague rats. And also, for just a minute, I'm going to put a door here just to keep these rats from being able to walk outside. Because I don't want that one to mine that garbage pile until we get a radius staff. You know. And I'm actually going to go ahead and restart real quick just to see if these work. Okay, so let's see how they're behaving. Well, this one's went to the door. I think he detects that there be garbage blocks. This one, of course, not moving. But that one's collecting. That one's not placing either. Oh. He has managed to go down there and break things. I heard him. Yeah, he's breaking garbage. Oh, you. Maybe using garbage for decoration until I get the radius staff may not work. Yeah, I know. You just... I tell you what, you just go to town. I'd prefer you not do this, but I may just have to use a different type of garbage for decoration. But at least you're following your commands. That's good. You did good. You did very, very good. Okay, go on inside. And that one did find the garbage and went and picked it up, so that's cool. Okay, get back in here. Now, we actually got what we were after, which is plastic waste. That's what I really, really want right now, is a lot of plastic waste so we can make lots of tunnels and igloos and other fun things. Let me try just going with chests. Maybe they just don't like drawers. That's a possibility. That might actually be it. So if we put the hopper there, and we put the drawer there, yeah, it's grabbing them. Okay, so it is the drawer, in fact. That's good to know. Tell you what, let me just switch out this for a chest. Because the chest will work, honestly, just as well. Oh, there we go. Now everything's working. Now, our harvester, let me grab you. Okay, I'm going to tell him to deposit his items in that chest. So he's going to take his items. Generally, he's probably going to get garbage. But there is a chance that he'll get that plastic waste. And our goal, of course, is to just generate a bunch of this plastic waste in this room. So, oh, that could be... Stop. No. Okay, I can't remember. Is there a asbesto rat? No. Extra breath. That's what we're going to need, I guess. So that way our rats can't suffocate. That should fix our issue. So I'll just have him placing right there. You know, it's funny, actually, how many bees there are in this little beach area here. Actually, quite a bit. And there's a beehive over there, prismarine. And we did get our very first lockbox, so let's go ahead and pop this open. We got paper. Okay. I would like to get some Neptunium lockboxes. Because I would like to get that armor set. I mean, I don't know that it's going to be the one that we wear, because I'd really like to wear our Ratlantis set once we get that. But, especially for swimming and stuff like that, it would be useful. It'll probably be pretty quick to get once we set up like rat fishers, but at the same time, auto fishing kind of makes fishing not as much fun. So at least for a little bit, I'd like to try for some Neptunium boxes myself, but at some point we will automate fishing, especially needing lots of pufferfish for extra breath, because it can take a little while, especially with aquaculture. It can take a little while to catch pufferfish. So, but yeah, as far as rats, it seems like they can take things out of chests, but the chest has to be placed in the same location as the drawer, or have gone through a restart before they'll start taking things out of the chest. It seems like drawers just don't seem to work. They can deposit to drawers, but they can't extract from drawers for some reason, which is unfortunate, but it's not really a big deal. Last episode I was thinking they couldn't go from chest, but it was because I wasn't restarting, or the chest wasn't in the same location, I guess. I tried it a few times, but not correctly, I suppose. So I guess I could go to like deep ocean. I think pufferfish is deep ocean, right, for the best chance, but you can catch them in just the normal ocean, and honestly I'm enjoying this. There we go, there's our second pufferfish, but you can see I've caught quite a few fish here. Okay, so there's our extra breath upgrade. So we'll just go ahead and set these down. Let's grab this one. We're going to move it right over here. Let's tell it that that's going to be its home. Let's give it the extra breath upgrade and the advanced miner upgrade. And we're going to say harvest. Ah, that one's actually harvesting. Maybe a lot of my issue was just from using drawers, to be honest. And let's go ahead and tell it to deposit its items there. We got a lot of garbage in here, actually. Actually, I tell you what, we got an extra whitelist down here that we made last episode, right? This rat, we don't actually need a whitelist on this one, because it's just taking items from that, so it doesn't really need to have a specialized whitelist. Okay, so let's take our whitelist. Let's get plastic waste, and we're going to add that to the whitelist, and we're going to put it into this rat, and we're going to tell this rat, we're just going to say, there's your home, so it knows. If we tell it to go home, it'll know where to go. We're going to say, take items from that chest, deposit items, actually I think we'll have to do it from the top, right? Transport items. So now stuff's going into the top of the furnace there. Now at this point we are going to need an additional 3 rats? Look at them all working. That one keeps scaring me because I'm scared it's gonna jump in there and get suffocated. I may have to get another extra breath made. Oh, but it's getting its health back about as fast as it's losing it. I wonder if that has to do with the color of it. Okay, so let's put a drawer in right here. We're going to remove that and then lock it back. Or, well, we'll leave it unlocked for just a moment. And we are going to make ourselves a rat cage. I tell you what, let's actually put it over here just so we can have our rats moving a little bit further and stuff. Let's set that rat down. Let's go ahead and make ourselves a rat wheel. And when rats are in a cage and they're running on the rat wheel, it's going to generate power. And this is actually how we're going to generate pretty much all the power in our base. So we're going to throw that in there, and you can see it building up on FE. It's not super fast. I'm not for sure if the speed upgrade would double the speed of it. I'm also not for sure if the tick accelerator would work with this. Probably, I'm going to say. But we'll find out. That's something I haven't really tried out or tested. Now let's pop down. We're going to need more rats. Always more rats. Oh my gosh. Okay, stay here. Let's grab that rat. And inside of this rat, we are going to put the basic energy transfer in there. And we are going to say that you are going to take items from the rat cage with wheel. And you are going to deposit over there. And we're going to set this to transport items. There we go. I'm going to turn off the block gravel hit. It stops being so noisy. Because that's going to get extremely annoying, actually. That's a little bit more bearable, just hearing it kind of get broken. I don't want to change my, my actual game volume anywhere. This thing is super, super nice. Alright, now let me go ahead and restart real quick to see if this one will start transferring power. Okay, it looks like rats can't... I know the rat power issue had been fixed, but it seems like rats can't directly pull power from the rat cage. So I was thinking that got fixed, but apparently it has not been. Not completely, if that's intended. But I guess we're going to go with just like a starter energy cell is fine. So let's get that real quick. So we'll get some dielectric paste. We'll probably be making a lot of these, I imagine, before it's all said and done. But that's okay. Because I intend to use rats for all my power needs. We can pull power out of the rat cages. That's been fixed. It's just got to get my rat actually moving the stuff. Can we actually have it coming off the bottom? We'll put that there. And we're going to say extract, and that's going to start getting power. You can see we're not getting a ton of power from a single rat wheel, but we are getting power from this. And then, make sure we got our route, and we're going to say take items from there. And you're going to deposit them over there. Let me restart to see if that fixes him. Okay, the pack just started up, but I tabbed out so that it would come in paused. And I'm noticing, I think it's working. Because if you look down there, you can see the rat looks like he's charged up. And that should mean that he's got energy. So let's see what he does. Yeah. You can see he's got some power on him. But he's not actually taking it. It's also possible that maybe he needs full power. Okay, I've let this kind of build up. We're going to toss down the rat now. He's going to pull out all the power. He does take it. He does take it over there. It's just he has to get up to 100,000 before he will move it. So the max transfer rate, he has to get that much before he'll bother moving any power at all. So I'm gonna have to put chimneys in this. I am. Right now we're gonna put break that off, and we're gonna put the chimney there. Just to quit smoking up this room. But you can see that this is now smelting up and making raw plastic for us. And it's probably, he's probably going to get enough power to keep this running, I think. There we go, he just dumped off all of his electricity again. So we're up to 146,000. Yeah, one rat wheel is enough to keep this furnace running, I think. And then we'll have this little electric charged Pikachu rodent over here. Okay, so let's toss down this route, and for this we're going to go ahead and say that the right side is going to be the output, and then what we'll do is we'll just say that's going to be your home. You are going to take items from the golden furnace and deposit them there, and then we're going to say transport items, and it's grabbing all the plastic out and putting it into there. And so our little plastic generation area is working. He's going to be filling that with plastic waste until all that's ran down. And of course these garbage piles, it's just a chance, so this is getting recycled a lot to try to get that plastic waste. But all these little rats are kind of working together. What is it in total? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rats to run this? But all these rats are working to make our plastic for us. And then this plastic, what we can do is we can take this and we can make ourselves rat tubes. Woo. And we're going to be using these a little bit. Okay, now that area is set up. I mean, I still need to decorate, and we're going to add some more stuff to this room. But for right now, this will be good. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I would like to get a shear upgrade. Rats will shear sheep, mushrooms, etc. when set to harvest. That's what we want. So let's go ahead and get our shear upgrade. And I think for this one, we're actually going to have the wool stored inside the temple because I'm going to be using it a lot there for banners and stuff. And as well as some pied cloth that we're going to be setting up. So we're going to put a drawer in right there. Let's grab our rat. We are going to say this is going to be the home point for it, and we're going to say deposit items in this this drawer right here. And then let's pop over, because our wool farm is over here, but I want the wool taken all the way over to the temple. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put in a chest that say it's going to be sitting right here, and we're going to say take items from this chest. And then we'll go ahead and just set him down. And so if wool comes into here, and we set this to transport items, our rat's going to grab that wool. It's going to take off. It's going to run. It's going to get stuck. That's okay. Rats, their pathfinding is not great, but on the plus side, if they do get stuck like this, they will get unstuck. So if we give him just a little bit, yeah, there we go. And there we go. He's off across the bridge now. And so from this point, it should be pretty smooth sailing. Here he comes. And he's going to run around. And he put the wool into there. Perfect. Okay, so we'll just lock that up. And then he's going to go back over to that chest. Now we probably should actually make a platter upgrade for this one. So let's do that. There we go. Carry weight 64. And this is going to allow him to move a stack at a time. We're going to throw that into there. So now he has a little serving platter that he's going to carry the items on. And that way we'll kind of have rats moving around our village, because I want him to transport some items like long distances. So we'll have these little rats with platters running around throughout the village and taking items around. And of course we'll have to leave this gate kind of open, but that's fine. We're going to leave that open for our rats to kind of come and go. Now I've got 2 more rats here. This one we are going to put the harvest upgrade, or the shear upgrade, and we're going to say harvest. And then this one we are going to put a whitelist upgrade, and this one is set to white wool only, and we're going to say gather items. And then let's just go ahead, grab that. We're going to say that's your home, and deposit your items there. And then, why did you run into the sweet berries? I don't want you to. I might have to do a whitelist upgrade for him, because I think he went over there to try to harvest plants or something like that. I really need to get a radius staff. That'll fix a lot of my problems. So let's put him down. Let's say whitelist, wool only, shear, and harvest. Okay, he is now working. He's shearing the sheep. Oh, I need to tell him to drop his items off, though, because he is holding on to those. So we're going to say deposit those items. And that one's picking up extras, because, of course, sometimes there's some extra wool. I don't know, though, if he gets extra wool, will he pick it up on his own? Because if so, I can just cut out this rat entirely, and he can take care of everything. But I was thinking if he got more than one, he would just leave it on the ground. But maybe that's not the case. He got more than one there. Okay, so we don't actually need the other pickup rat, in fact. Just him, and then the delivery rat's enough. So that saves me a rat, which is good. And something I should mention before I forget, and something I forgot to mention earlier. If you don't care about the way things look, necessarily, you can do the chef route. Instead of having a furnace here, so he could smelt the plastic for you. But I just like the way that the furnace looks in this room, and to me it makes more sense smelting plastic than a chef doing it. Plus it gives us an excuse to use our energy rats, because I kind of wanted to do something small and just see how well they work out, which they seem to be working great, to be honest. But I just wanted to kind of do something small and let that run and just make sure that it works good. But I do like the way the furnace looks in our little rat workshop. But we will be using the chef for a lot of our smelting. I just wanted to make mention of that. And now at this point, we're going to set up our last little bit of automation, and that is going to be our chef rat, which I'm actually going to cut for a minute. But let me check. Let me go ahead and sleep real quick, because I know it's night out. And let me see exactly where this comes out at. Okay, so it comes out right here. Yeah, we can make that work. So what I'm thinking is we're actually going to dig out that panel. We're going to dig out a little bit of our base here. And we are going to... Do I want to dye these? Yeah, let me dye these real quick. Like a green. Alright, so let's take our pipes and we're just going to dye these green. Our rat tubes. And we're going to have basically a little rat tube area that connects to outside and connects up into the kitchen. So what we're going to do is we're going to run this out and then we're just going to right click here to make an entrance. So our rats can run up through the tube. And that's going to run up into the kitchen and then we're just going to open that up. And that way our rats can travel from here outside and then from outside back up into here. Okay, and now at this point I'm going to do just a little bit of setup because I need to build a farm out here. Because we're going to have a farm for our chef rat to cook from. He's going to have his own private little garden out here, I think. And I've still got to continue expanding this farm. We'll get that in just a moment. But let's go ahead and grab this rat. And we're going to say that this is going to be your home point. And we're going to put down a chest that sits right here. And we're going to say you're going to deposit items into that chest. Let me steal one of these real quick. I'm going to be growing kale in this. And we're going to go ahead and set our whitelist up for kale. And we're going to go ahead and add that to our rat. Now before we let it start doing crops, you can replant them. There's a replant one right here. So if you want them to plant, you can. We don't want it to waste time planting crops. We just want replanter so it does not break crops when harvesting them. And you can do this with 8 of any seed. And we're going to go ahead and add that to our rat. And then we're going to set it to harvest. Alright, so if we bone meal that, you can see the rat breaks it. And then he dumps it into the chest. So again, there we go. He could actually benefit from a platter upgrade just because so many crops drop with kale. It would just speed things up a little bit. So let's go ahead and give it a platter upgrade. And that way it'll speed this whole process up just a little bit for us. And then let's go ahead and fill this in. We're going to have a lot of kale, but that's okay. Because what we're going to be making actually takes a bit of kale, but it's also a super powered food. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go grab ourselves. We're going to need a few more rats to get this up and going. And we're going to go ahead and get ourselves a crafting table. And then let's get 6 of these. You can see all this is pretty, or no, 8 of them, sorry. 8 of these. And we're going to get a rat crafting table. You can see this is all stopped up at the moment because we're just producing tons and tons of cheese. And we can go ahead and set up our crafter, and then we're going to get our transport, and then we're going to get our chef. So our crafting table, we're going to have this setting, say right here. There's our crafting upgrade. Let's go ahead and give that to that one. And we're going to say, yeah, we're just going to say stay here. And then we are going to, let's pop down and get a little bit of that kale real quick. And if you take 9 kale and combine it, you get assorted vegetables, which on its own, it's an okay meal. But what we're going to turn it into is going to be a really, really OP meal. Probably one of the strongest meals in like Minecraft history. It's crazy powerful. So we'll just put this in there. And, oh, it actually just kind of tabs through. So we don't actually have to set it. Because it can be 9, any combination of these different vegetables. 9 of them in total. So that should work. And we're going to set our drawer up right here. This is going to be where we store our final food. Alright, but at this point, in order to get our chef upgrade, the toque is actually, this is actually super easy. But we are going to have to make 6 cakes, which is just milk, sugar, eggs, and wheat. So not a big deal. Let me get that together, and I need to get 2 more, 2 more rats. And it actually seems like right now the biggest problem with this is going to be the eggs, of all things, because I haven't set up chickens yet. So, and I did go ahead and bring these chickens back with me. I'm just going to store them in this house till I get a an actual pen built, though. Okay, now while I'm waiting for the eggs to build up, let me go ahead. Let me drop this rat right here, and we're going to say this is going to be your home. You are going to deposit items in there. You're going to be taking items from this chest that's right out here. So you're going to take items from there. You can see we got a bit of kale built up. And we're going to say transport items. And we may have to do a restart before that works. But I'm going to go ahead and get the chef in place first. And then we will do a restart. Okay, well now we can get our chef upgrade. So let's go ahead and get that. And then let's go ahead and grab ourselves a rat. We're going to put in our rat right there. Let's go ahead and shift right click. We're going to say set home point. And we're also going to deposit items to there. And we're going to take items from the rat crafting table. And we're going to go ahead and put in the chef upgrade. Now, if you take a look at the chef upgrade, but the chef has a couple special recipes. The confit bialdi, the string cheese, which is kind of just a weak little food. And then you can also turn centipedes into potato niches. But you'll notice that, for example, this one that we're going to make with assorted vegetables, the hunger is 100, the saturation is 2000. Which is just massive, and the same is true for this one. It also has some special effects as well. So now what I want to do, I'm going to say transport items, and then I'm going to restart, and then hopefully all this will be working. Okay, so you can see that our rat might be a little bit stuck. Seems like it took her a little bit of trying though. I gotta see, because it doesn't seem like she's coming back up through here. Actually, it's seeming like they can't travel up and down is the problem. So if I take that stuff out, can she travel now? Seems like she's moving stuff. She probably will need a platter upgrade also, just to speed up this whole process. But let's take a look real quick. Yeah, let me get a platter upgrade real quick. Okay, so that one's crafting and making the assorted vegetables, and this one is cooking, and there we go. We're now making super food. Super food. So that's working. I just kind of have to, I guess I'll have to do this path, because they don't seem to like the tunnels. I think will work just fine if we're just going, like, through a wall or something like that, but they really don't like traveling up with those. I was thinking that they could travel up, but maybe not. Aha! There we go. Confit Bialdi. And this, of course, is a reference to the Ratatouille movie. And what you're about to see is another reference to the Ratatouille movie. So if we eat this, boom, we get this effect. Where everything kind of turns orange. We get a bunch of absorption hearts, and we get synesthesia effect, which causes, basically our saturation is infinite right now. You can see we got absorption hearts like crazy, we got extra hearts like crazy, and we have basically 2 minutes of more or less infinite saturation, and just extreme healing superfood. At this point, we basically have the best food in the pack, and this is going to run as this gathers up kale. That's going to run, of course, it's 9 kale per, but realistically, that's not expensive at all. Especially considering that the Pam's crops produce between like 3 and 6 produce per harvest, so it's really not too bad at all. So the other food is basically identical to that. String cheese is just a really weak food. We don't want that, but we will have to use it if we want to make like fez hats. So at this point, we're going to wrap up this episode here. Of course, we got, I don't know why this rat keeps wanting to travel somewhere else. Like, there's nothing else for you to break, guy. Just stay over here. I really need to get the radius staff, because right now I'm noticing some TPS hit, and that's because I have all these rats checking massive areas. They need to be checking a lot smaller areas. So maybe next episode we might try to focus on getting some plague rats by setting up a bunch of garbage set to auto kill, and hopefully get some plague drops. We might work on that next episode. Originally I was planning on resourceful bees, but we really need that staff, that radius staff, really bad right now. Okay, I want to make a quick mention. I was doing some testing after this episode, and it kind of applies to what we're doing within this episode, but I was testing, and I discovered that in this version of Rats 7.2, the radius staff does not work, and I was wanting to get the radius staff because my rats are just checking this huge area, causing a little bit of lag. So I ended up, I did some testing, and I found that going with Rat 7.11 is actually a whole lot better. 7.2 is apparently officially broken and not suggested to use, I discovered. And with 7.2, the radius staff is completely unusable. I guess because they added the patrol staff in 7.2. So 7.2 broke a lot of things, apparently. Now, drawers still don't work. They can't pull from drawers, so just a heads up on that. But even though 7.2 was supposed to fix the power issue, I can still pull power. Like I'm currently on 7.1. Just attached to the side of the rat cage instead of the bottom. And it will pull out the power, and you can see it's going in there. This rat still works perfectly, and the radius staff is fixed. Not to mention, it seems like the rats are a bit more responsive when I give them commands, and not having to restart the server as much. One potential fix that I did find for that is apparently the rat sack. If you use that, it'll reset the rats just like a server restart would. So you can use that instead of restarting the server, so we'll probably start using that come next episode as well. But and also, since downgrading, you'll notice that my TPS is setting back up to 20. It was getting down to like 9 all of a sudden towards the end of the episode, and then I downgrade, my TPS jumps back up even without the radius staff. I do still want to get the radius staff, but that did seem to fix a whole lot of issues. So I just wanted to give you guys a quick update. So if you're not running Rats 7.1.1, I would suggest maybe downgrading to that. The only thing you lose is the patrol staff, and it makes the mod work a bit better, it seems like. But yeah, so we're going to wrap up this episode here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button, and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already, to stay updated with when new videos come out. And I hope to see you guys next time. So until then, as always, do take care, stay safe. I'll see you guys then.